the same time in a strategic location where a lot of the bus routes converge near DMAC. There's also Mercy Hospital, the university, all buses converge there. Just a lot going on in that area. So that's interesting. According to the Save a Lot website, and I'll just put this on the camera real quick. So I visited their website and got some direct information. They practice sustainability in their distribution, recycling, energy and efficiency, and waste reduction. As far as construction, the corporation tries to use the resources of existing buildings, and they minimize new construction by opening a majority of their stores in established buildings, which they did at that location, reopening a former grocery location. Locating stores in walking distance of customers or near established public transportation routes, which they did, and committing to procurement of locally grown produce at their distribution center. I'm not sure which distribution center would serve the Des Moines location, but hopefully if it's in the Iowa area, the growers who are here, the gardeners and the growers and the farmers who are here, will be welcome to establish a business relationship with Save Stores. And so more information on food in the Des Moines area. I'm going to put on the camera our farmers market information here. This says fresh food for all seasons, and it just describes the farmers market that I spoke of in past episodes. Take our farmers markets very seriously here. It's a wonderful thing. It's very, very well supported. Always big crowds for people who are looking for locally grown, organic, pesticide-free, without genetically modified organisms, and then food that hasn't been trucked over a large distance. And so the winter market, which is in its 5th year, will continue today and also will be held December 17th and 18th inside Capitol Square and outdoors in Nolan Plaza here in downtown Des Moines. And let's see, you can get a bigger shot here of how it looks on the inside. So lots of activity here. Definitely Des Moines does support its local farming community. Let's see, I think that takes care of that. I'm going to go ahead and go to some headlines. And one is from the Des Moines Register, the opinion section. This is from Sunday, November 14th, Des Moines Register. I'm going to flip it over, and the article there is Iowans Should Drive Transportation Plans. Transportation is a large issue lately here in the Des Moines area and in Iowa too. There are entities, federal, state, and local, that have money to allocate in certain arenas, and then everyone has an opinion about that. And so this is the opinion of the Register. For many years in Greater Des Moines, as in most Midwestern cities, people have had few choices about how they get about. Use of public transportation has steadily declined over the decades, and driving is an increasing necessity to navigate the ever-expanding urbanized central Iowa region. Jobs are often far from homes, along with shopping, dining, and entertainment scattered around the 8-county region. Even small changes can be meaningful. And these are some solutions that the Register editorial suggested. Even small changes can be meaningful. Painting bike lane stripes on city streets, providing safe access for motorized scooters and golf carts for the elderly, building and maintaining sidewalks and pedestrian-friendly street crossings. On a larger scale, retail centers should be pulled closer to sidewalks so it's easier to walk to stores. New residential commercial development should copy the concept of the courthouse square that makes hundreds of Iowa's small towns so livable and less car dependent. And regarding the new Save-A-Lot store that's coming, that store is actually flush to the sidewalk, so it would not present too much of a hardship for an elderly person or a disabled person to make their way if they have assistance equipment helping them. They should be able to access that store easily. There's not a vast parking lot to cross. The sidewalk runs right next to the door, which is great. And if you're, even able-bodied, but you're loaded down with groceries, trying to make your way to and from the store to the bus stop, that the way the store is set up, it is people-friendly and environment. Well, it's people friendly. And I'm hoping that it will be environmentally friendly as well. The article, the editorial goes on to say, public sentiment has a powerful influence on these laws, policies, and community planning decisions, not just by people choosing where to live and how they want to live, but by people getting engaged in the planning process in their cities and by getting engaged early in that process when change is possible. So definitely, I welcome people to either communicate via the DesMoinesAmplified.com website or even to your decision makers, community leaders, neighborhood association leaders, local politicians, to make your voice heard about how you want your city to develop. Cities belong to their residents, the editorial goes on to say. Let your voice be heard and make it known what sort of city you want for yourself and for future generations. So I thought that was a pretty great way to address urban planning, sustainability, environment, and people-friendly spaces here in Des Moines area. There's also another issue that was pretty hot topic, and this is about the prison project that we spoke of earlier, a bidding controversy between, or not the bidding itself wasn't controversial, but the aftermath of the bidding for the Fort Madison project, where the Chicago company Walsh won the bid with the lowest bid from Illinois, and then the Des Moines area bidder Whites had the lowest bid from Iowa. However, overall, the Walsh bid was the lowest, and they won the contract. And so there's been a lot of controversy about that decision to funnel. Well, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and put that on the camera and make it should speak for itself. Let's see. Chicago builder to keep prison project. And this is coming from the Thursday, November 18th Des Moines Register. And judge upholds state decision on Fort Madison deal. An administrative law judge has upheld a decision by state officials to award $116.9 million contract to a Chicago construction firm to build a new state prison in Fort Madison. Administrative law judge Carrie Anderson ruled that master builders lacked standing to challenge the contract award because it was not a losing bidder. She also determined Walsh Construction was not required to disclose information about Illinois' labor preference law on its bidding form, eliminating a key challenge made by Whites. Scott Norville, CEO of Master Builders of Iowa, said Wednesday he was disappointed in the ruling. He said the contract award to Walsh Construction will result in the loss of hundreds of jobs. And employment opportunities for Iowa workers on a project funded by state taxpayers, and he means Iowa, presumably. Walsh has hired 55 contractors for the Fort Madison project. They include 20 from Iowa, 11 from Illinois, 6 from Missouri, 5 from Wisconsin, and other subcontractors from Minnesota, Texas, Tennessee, Indiana, South Dakota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Nebraska. That situation has raised questions about whether a majority of the estimated 300 to 500 construction workers employed on the prison project will be from outside Iowa.